Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sideline Sedo here. Gonna make a quick video. Henderson has made some very brazen comments, I think, and I think he has to be called out. I didn't really want to make this video. There's a lot of strong opinions out there online about the Saudi Pro League, and being that Henderson was, in my eyes, up until a certain point, a respectful captain, at least to the fans of Liverpool, I didn't want to make this video. Everybody knows why people go to Saudi Pro League. It's the money. It's the allure of being paid hundreds and hundreds of millions, over a certain amount of years and seeing out the final stages of your career and becoming wealthier than you could ever be. That is it. Simply put, especially with Henderson's case, being that he was captain of Liverpool, it held a lot of weight that he was leaving. Obviously, he was past his best. I would have preferred had he stayed with the club. But, I respect his decision, much like I respected Bobby Firmino's decision or Fabinho's decision, because they were loyal servants to the club and they were extremely respectful to the fans. Obviously, with Henderson's case, there's a lot of stuff regarding the LGBTQ community, and that's a whole nother can of worms we will get into very shortly. But before I continue, comment down below what do you think of these remarks by Jordan Henderson, because I think this is effectively a stain. I know the thumbnail is a little dramatic, but that's how I feel right now. I feel frankly disrespected as a Liverpool fan that he would come out and say these things, because sometimes, the phrase goes, if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. And a lot of this feels jagged. It feels bitter, and it feels like he saw that Liverpool has moved on without him and looks significantly better, and it's eating him alive. No matter the amount of money that he has, he'll never be able to be winning at Liverpool again. And I think it's kind of getting to him. This is a quote from The Athletic. It says, I can understand the frustration. I can understand the anger. I get it. All I can say around that is that I'm sorry that they feel like that. My intention was never ever to hurt anyone. Okay, fine, whatever. My intention has always been to help causes and communities where I felt like they have asked for my help. And this was covered on Sky, and then it goes, when I was making the decision, the way that I tried to look at it was I felt as though by myself not going, we can all bury our heads in the sand and criticize different cultures and different countries from afar, but then nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. I can't promise anything. This is on his boots, the laces that he is so famous for wearing, obviously at several World Cup events and international events and in the Premier League. I can promise anything, but I can't promise anything, but what I can do is sit here and say I have my values and beliefs, and I strongly believe that me playing in Saudi Arabia is a positive thing. There's more, probably tons more, but we're gonna continue. Here's Ornstein, another excerpt from The Athletic, says, there was an article I read before the interview that sort of said that you were being used, not just you, but others as well, to help grow this league. And that is part of an attempt to improve the country's image. Did it never get to a point where you listen to the people you were talking to before, including members of the LGBTQ plus community, and think, I can't do this? It's hard to know what the reality is and what's not true, because you hear stuff and you're like, is that true? And you speak to people who are close to me and have experiences over in Saudi and in the Middle East, and it's like, well, actually, that's not the same. Then he uses Qatar as an example here, how like they saw the state of like the images online, and then the FA of Qatar and the country provided them a different kind of experience because they were catered to by migrant slave labor effectively. And then Crafton strikes back and says, I suppose people would come back and say what you were presented with in Qatar as a high profile footballer was always going to be different. A choreographed, manicured perception. Very true. They're effectively playing in the North Korea of football leagues with a pristine image presented to the players. Ronaldo and his wife and other footballers can break laws in there, to my knowledge. There's been a lot of leeway to this. There was a lot of coverage when Ronaldo first moved. I'm not going to get into it. This is about Henderson. Then he has a quote about Salah. It says, it'll be interesting to see what happens because he's an amazing player, amazing guy. And whatever happens, he'll have a big impact, whether that's at Liverpool or in the Saudi League, whatever it may be, whether that's now, the future, or whenever it may be. He's a fantastic addition to any team. So he's effectively implying that one day Salah will play in the Pro League, which wouldn't surprise me because, you know, the Saudis have been pushing hard and the bids have been rising. It seems eventually it'll happen. But to say this, you know, a couple of days after the transfer window in an interview where you're kind of trying to posture yourself and your legacy and like try to validate you going to the Saudi Pro League internally, that's just weird, bro. Like, quit it. Like, you are not him. Like, I don't know. Now he says, insists Liverpool owners' best interests of club at heart. Achievements remarkable, only positive things to say. Then he says he pushed for Bellingham signing, which is like, okay, bro, like we get it. We saw you push for him. We saw Henderson effectively groom Bellingham for how long? Like at the World Cup, Bellingham was like 17, 18, bro, and Henderson was chilling with him, like shirtless and stuff. And that's whatever, but like it was obvious. Like there's no reason for you to be like, yeah, I push for Bellingham. We have players that are falling out in the midfield position, which you couldn't do last season. And Henderson effectively continued to say, you know, he felt unwanted. He this, he that, you know. And there's other excerpts. I'll leave the link to this and the other Ornstein Athletic article in the description. Obviously, this is not necessarily a free article, but there's a lot of stuff like that. But I want to end the video with one point because effectively, I will never be able to look at Henderson's Liverpool legacy again, like in the same light, like because he stayed for 12 years, which I felt was very, you know, I'd seen him the whole time. I remember Henderson signing. I remember the gravity of him becoming captain and then how well he performed and how valuable he was to us. And if anybody valued Henderson, it was Liverpool. The fans at Liverpool relentlessly defended. For years, for a better part of a decade, I was saying that Henderson was one of the most underrated midfielders in the world, period. Last time that Henderson probably felt unwanted at Liverpool, besides this, where, you know, he got a 5 times pay raise to Saudi and effectively, you know, maybe that's why, you know, nobody would match your salary because it's ludicrous money. And it's always been about the money. He also said it wasn't about the money. He says, he was left in a very dark place when Liverpool tried to swap him for Clint Dempsey transfer. You know what he did then? He fought. He went to Brendan Rodgers. He said, I want to stay at the club. He fought for his place. He earned it. And he took this whole summer to get in the best shape of his life to play in the Saudi Pro League. I'm going to end this video finally with Fabrizio, or actually a David Ornstein thing right here. Let's go to his account really quick. This was the big news of the day. Did not feel wanted at Liverpool. Like, get over yourself, bro. Grow up. You have generational wealth. It was best for you to not speak out about this because honestly, like, I kind of see you in a different light now. Obviously, for the LGBT community, they probably already did see Henderson in a different light due to the fact that he just went there. And I had felt that it was a little weird and it slightly tainted it, but I was like, all right, like, he's still, like, you know, was respectful to the general fan base, you know, like he never said anything bad. And I feel like now he's kind of just trying to stir the pot and he's jealous of what Liverpool has. So thank you everybody for watching. Comment down below what you think about Henderson's comments. Like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe for more general football, Liverpool and Premier League content right here on the Sideline Sedo YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sideline Sedo. Peace.